Hi everyone, it's October 2nd, 2012. I'm Dwight Schmuck. This is the Schmuck Look. First, I've been sick for about a week. There were a few days there I probably would have paid somebody to come in and kill me. You know, stuff was flowing out of me that shouldn't have been flowing out. It was just a bad deal for about a week. Fortunately, I'm better, or unfortunately, as the case may be, for depending which side of this coin you happen to fall on. Now, I've called this segment is Weed Waste, and, I'm going to talk about, of all things, that nephros noxious weed, marijuana. I got a thing from Oddie this morning, and I recommend that y'all go find this, Google it up, O-D-D-E-E, Oddie, and today's thing was let me downsize a few things here and upsize some others. Today's segment is 8 weird facts about marijuana, and it used to be patriotic to grow marijuana. That's number one. Unos dos, all that. It's number one. It used to be patriotic. In fact, the Constitution is written on hemp paper, cannabis sativa, or as they call it later on. And the U.S. government used it to fight the Nazis and the Japanese. That's number 2 is Hemp for Victory. And this is a movie. It's only 14 minutes long. I recommend, again, go to the site, O-D-D-E-E, Oddie, and 8 weird facts about marijuana, because this is number 2. They used to say, oh, we never made this movie. The United States government denied having ever made this movie until somebody donated a VHS copy of it. Can you imagine? Somebody actually had their hands on the original on a reel and put it on the VHS and yada. The government, the very people who spent the money for it, said, we never made that. No. Because these assholes are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to arrest you for it now. But it used to be patriotic, and we used it to fight the Nazis and the Japanese in World War II, the Axis powers as it were, and we won because of marijuana. Oh, it's a terrible thing for the Law and Order group to have to admit. It was also used as medicine for thousands of years. We can go back to the 2737 BC. Okay, this is now 2012, so we're talking 4,700 years. This plant was used 4,700 years ago as medicine, and it has been proven that it's good for your lungs. What a terrible thing that is. And then, of course, where did the name come from? Nobody really knows. How it got called reefer is still clueless, but okay, fine, because, the big movie of the 30s and 40s and 50s was this thing called Reefer Madness. Women cry for it, men die for it. Oh, yeah. The only thing that makes you really want to cry and die for is maybe some chips, a soda, some Twinkies. Why do they call it dope? If over 14 million Americans smoke it, who's the dope here? I would say the Law and Order establishment for spending hundreds of millions of dollars for stupidity. And why did we get to be that stupid to begin with? And you can use the seeds as fuel. They do a very good synthetic fuel. Oh my, we could be oil-free as a country by using marijuana. Think about this. The sand puppies get to go back to riding camels because their shit isn't worth anything anymore. Oh my, what a terrible, terrible thing that would buy. Of course, then your executives at the oil companies would have to give up their limos, and now that would be terrible. So by all means, let's keep something that's good for the earth and good for you and me out of our hands. Now, like I said, I'm going to get back here into why this was originally made illegal. It was the last thing on the Harrison Tax Act that scheduled the drugs way back in 1938, was made a law in 1939. And then again, in World War II, you had to have a special $1 tax stamp to grow marijuana for the government. Anything to get another buck out of the farmers, right, boys? But this is the God's honest truth about it. It was made illegal at the bequest and behest of the major liquor companies and breweries, because hell, if you smoke a doobie, you don't drink a shot, right? That, and, believe it or not, believe this or not, you had a racial fear in there because marijuana makes white women want black men. Where the hell that came from? Well, no, actually I do know where it came from, because this is how truly pathetically sick some people are. Well, a lot of folks like blues, and a lot of folks like jazz, and shucky darns, they ain't all white, and black musicians did do, and still do, their share of smoking the nephros noxious, as Hoyt Axton called it, who was a white country western singer. Anyway, the white women would then therefore smoke the marijuana and want to go to bed with the guy because, well, he was black and a musician. Does the fucking name Jimi Hendrix ring any bells? How about Janis Joplin? Oh, that's right, she was a musician too. Well, I guess we'll have to exclude her. Somewhere, someday, this country is actually going to make some sort of significant sense over this. My God. Just a couple of weeks ago, Maryland is considering making marijuana okay for medical reasons. And this football player on the Baltimore Ravens came out in favor of that, or in favor of gay marriage, or some such thing. I don't remember what it was even. But a state senator wrote a letter to the owner of the Ravens telling him to tell the player to shut his mouth. An abrogation of First Amendment rights to begin with. You would assume that legislators get that. But they don't. What used to be good, Betsy Ross's flag, original flag, was from hemp cloth. The Constitution of the United States is written on hemp. It is really time we get rid of this stupid, wasteful law that hurts people way more than it has ever helped. How many kids out there have been doomed to a life of lower classism because they got caught doing marijuana at some point of their young lives? They can't get a national security clearance now. There's a lot of jobs they can't get qualified for because they have a drug offense. Talk about stupidity. Talk about government-sponsored stupidity. Now, I realize you're talking about laying off, probably 20% of the cops and an equal amount of DAs and yada, yada, yada. Probably won't need so many judges. But I'm real sure that with their buddy, the jobs creators, they'll find other work real fast. I could be wrong, but I'm really betting I'm not. It's really time to bring it back here, make some common sense. Folks, really, go to Audie, 8 Weird Facts About Marijuana, and that's ODDEE. I do like to give my reference points. But you know what? All of the stuff on there is true. And if you're going 8 for 8, and you're making the establishment look really stupid, well, you know what? We got an election coming up here in a few weeks. It's time to make the establishment realize we're not stupid after all. It's time to vote in people who are pro instead of anti. Because the antis cost you a hell of a lot of money. And you know that's true. I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to take a toke. Bless y'all. Happy 420. I'm Dwight Schmuck. That's the Schmuck Look. Peace.